Now, all right, I appreciate you holding for 15 minutes while I rant, my friend. We haven't pre-talked. What does Trump do? What's the ear of East Coast law enforcement? Your sources? I mean, I've got my sources in the military. They're almost 100% behind Trump. The police almost 100%. These people like Brennan that are known Wahhabis trying to run all this with Obama and Holder saying he's coming like he's Christ. The overthrow of Trump is here. This sounds like megalomania to me. But still, this is such a dangerous situation. As much as I'd like to see them decisively beat, it's very dangerous to have these type of megalomaniac snot noses doing this. I mean, I don't think they realize they got their head in a guillotine right now.
To some extent, I think you're right, but I also think that they do understand the stakes right here, Alex. And it's interesting, you know, what does Donald Trump do at this point? I think he's done much, but there's much more to do. He's got some insiders. My information is he's got some insiders close to him who are who are feeding, of course, the enemies, the true enemies of Donald Trump, the former Obama plants that were left over from the White House.
Oh, it's completely full of them.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, Donald Trump, as I see it, and from my contacts, he's got a multifaceted front that he's fighting on multifaceted fronts.
I mean, this is beyond any movie where a lion's surrounded by 100 wolves, but he has the people. That's what I want you to get into your sources and what you think and all of it. You as a person, let's just do it. Let's get it out there. I mean, Hillary's committed crimes, indict her ass. Soros, it's time to get on the offense and not sit here while they get on the offense.
Now, with respect to Hillary Clinton and what we've talked about before about, for example, the Pedogate scandal, the Pedogate, the emails, the 650,000 emails, the Podesta emails, and all of this, with respect to that, you start pulling on that string, and that string has been yanked a few times. And
so how did Trump give the green light? Because I was told this would happen. You were told, and it came out, to get all local law enforcement to start rolling up the pedophiles, just that they were told you'll have the president's backing.
Right, and I think to some extent they have, and they've been very measured in their response against their findings. Their findings are much more vast than, of course, what's happened so far. However, you're looking at this interwoven, incestuous relationship.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, you've got bribery and corruption that is infused within both sides of the political spectrum. You've got upwards of 30%, and I would say that's a conservative figure, of lawmakers who are involved in some level or either being bribed or have been compromised. So they're controllable. Then you've got, so you start yanking some strings, or the string on that, what you could have potentially is ultimately a constitutional crisis, not at the legislative.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're like in a psycho move to take Trump out no matter what, even though clearly he's got the momentum history on his side. What are they thinking?
Well, and I think that the response, from the Trump perspective, from the Donald Trump perspective, outward in sessions and such, they're looking to move methodically and using the state, federal, local. But
they don't have time. That's what I'm saying.
And they know that, and I think you're going to see, based on my sources here, and I think you're going to see some leaks coming out, some extremely volatile leaks coming out within the next 14 days. Now, that time could be off, but you're going to see some damning information about some high-ranking judiciary and legislative.
So we're about to see Trump strike back?
Yeah, Yes. The short answer to that is yes. But I think Donald Trump is playing chess along with Sessions and some people within his inner circle.
I agree. I've watched Schumer's body language. He looks like he is scared to death.
Right. Yeah, and he is. Now he's, of course, he's fighting groups like United to Protect Democracy. This group, on the other hand, when Obama left the White House, and people need to understand, when Obama left the White House, he left the White House full of landmines, metaphorically speaking, of course. They took out hard drives. They removed a lot of equipment from a lot of software, information, hardware, and stuff from the White House, from the West Wing, and they also took with them a lot of the secrets. And built. And
by the way, you said this months ago. That's in the New York Times, Infowars.com. They took a bunch of classified stuff. That's illegal. Right. They also leaked a bunch of stuff that's illegal. And Holder admits it to the New York Times. They commit all the crimes that Trump said they were. Again, indict that guy.
And that's something that the guys I talk to, the street level guys I talk to, are so frustrated because there have been no high level indictments coming from Sessions or from now that Sessions has been in place, and the response that they've been getting from their higher ups is just wait a minute. You know, it's only been
well, I think the street guys got it. They're moving against us right now. I'm not, right. I'm not precipitous. I never call for major moves. This is the time to move. Everybody knows it's time to move.
Yeah. Because you've got groups like United to Protect Democracy, a group of 5 lawyers who are part of the Obama staff, who know where the bodies are buried, who are forming using.
And you've got Obama and Holder admitting they stole classified data, like Sandy Berger. He ain't the president no more. Obama can't give himself a pardon. In fact, that's the key. I read that this morning, where they admit they stole all these secret files and gave it to the media. Yep. That's all the felonies right there. Indict them for that. They admit it.
Yeah, and again, my sources are saying, what the hell? Why aren't we moving faster? They have the files, they have the information. Why are we moving faster? And of course, they're being tempered at the a couple levels down from Session in terms of.
Well, I'll say this: I don't normally defer, but I respect Trump so much. He's so real that maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe he does this. He lets them attack him, then he stands up. I think he's just going to let them really hurt him bad, right to the moment where he gets them to actually launch a physical coup or something. I trust the president, but I
feel your frustration.
We'll be right back, Doug. Stay there. We're going to break it all down. We've only seen President Trump in golfing outfits and the classic dark blue or black suit with a red or blue tie or rep tie. Well, he's on an aircraft carrier right now. Let's put him on screen for TV viewers. In the classic commander-in-chief outfit when they are out on the ship. Let's go to it. He's wearing that green jacket. He's got the navy blue hat there. You can put it full screen for TV viewers. It's fine. So there you go, a new look for Trump. He's very smart. He's showing he's the commander-in-chief. He's showing he's getting things done. He is certainly throwing it in their face, and they are panicking. The USS Gerald R. Ford is the most technologically advanced warship. It is scheduled to be commissioned later this summer. So he's on a new warship talking about how he's going to expand our military. And the truth is, they've been looting our military for a long time, the biggest in the world, but they've not been expanding its new capabilities. In fact, nuclear expert agrees with Trump that we're falling behind with China on our nuclear weapons. White House explores options, including use of military force to counter North Korea. Anti-Islam activist warns Europe faces existential crisis. That's all up on Infowars.com. Right now. We're going back to Doug Hagmann here in just a moment. In the 4th hour, Anthony Cumia from New York is going to be hosting the show. Always doing a great job. Got a lot of other news I want to hit. But before you go any further, you will change the world. We already have. Look what we've done. Look what you've done. When you get a Trump-Pence 2020 shirt, Keeping America Great, on the back it says, America First in 1776. The idea of nationalism that they're saying on CNN is evil and horrible. We have to magnify it, execute our free speech, carry it out, and let them know when the globalists are trying to fund all these groups to go out and bully people that we're there. Go to the town halls, support America, expose these people, speak out, get a Trump as my president shirt, Hillary for president shirt, but most importantly, the new shirt at InfoWarsStore.com, Trump-Pence 2020, Keeping America Great. 90-something thousand of the last shirt getting sold, changed the world. We have millions of listeners a day and viewers. If you all just get one, we can fund our operation, but that's not even what excites me. Every order gets free bumper stickers thrown in it. That's having a huge effect. People see them all over the world. Talk to reporters from Germany, from New Zealand, from Canada, from Mexico. They say the stickers are everywhere. Great job. Homemade ones as well. It lets people know we're the majority. And when you wear the shirt, you meet like-minded people. So it's about community and about, they don't want us to openly say what we believe in or what we stand for, because we are the majority of every race, color, and creed. So get the shirt. It's $9.95. They're coming in. Already, some are actually, the 18-wheeler gets here tomorrow. The first order, but we're already sold out of those. They're being made right now, right here in the U.S. Tens of thousands of them. I want to get these out to everybody. I want to absolutely change the world. So everyone, do not procrastinate. Everyone, InfoWarsStore.com. Get a Trump-Pence 2020 shirt. Or go to some third-party site where you can order your own T-shirt and make one for yourself. I don't care. Just do it. and I want to thank you all that have taken action. You've seen what we've done. If more do it, we are unstoppable. And I'm going to extend it just to today, but it's over tomorrow. I do this because, you know, we're selling out of a bunch of stuff. They tell me I can't keep extending it. Survival Shield X2, the Great Halogen, it's 25% off. Brain Force 25% off. A bunch of the products. I've got to end the sale tonight at midnight because several of these are going to sell out by next week if I don't stop, and then some don't come in for a while. And they say, that's not good business, Alex. You got to keep sending back. Sign up for auto ship, get 10% off, and you also get free shipping on orders of $50 or more. Infowarsstore.com or 888-253-3139. I want to thank everybody, too, for coming through because they took our sponsors. They're doing it to everybody else. They wouldn't let us advertise our own products through ad roll on Google, and that's who they make you go through. They said, you're right-wing, you're patriot, you're hateful, you hurt people's feelings, you can't advertise. They want to shut us down. They admit that all over the news. Well, you came through and bought a bunch of products, so we haven't gained it back yet, but we're halfway there, so that just shows me you're coming through. We're expanding. I signed the lease for the new D.C. offices. We're hiring more people. We're just going to expend everything we got. In fact, I've said I'll sell my house down the road if I need to. I'm going to spend everything I've got to the wall in this fight. No matter what they do, I'm never giving up. I'm never giving in because my spirit won't let me. All right, Doug Hagmann, I've been jumping in a lot, but talk about your state police, your FBI sources, where this is going, the frustration. I know Trump wants to stabilize the economy, expose globalism, kill TPP. He's done all that, but they're scared. They know Sessions is coming after him, so they're trying to destroy him with this made-up Russia crap. So what do you think we should do? What are your sources saying, and what else is on the radar? And then the latest on the name we will not speak, that deals with the pedophile rings.
Right. Well, a couple of things that I've been told, and this is interesting as well. They recognize Donald Trump as being very good at the counterpunch, and of course the art of the deal. He's approaching this, I believe, and my sources believe, as more of a businessman. Well,
he knows metaphysically when you're attacked, you're actually stronger. A lot of folks say strike first, but if you can let them strike but let them miss or just cut you a little bit, then you get the almighty power of crushing.
Exactly. And again, this from my sources, they were a little bit surprised. I believe that was a reference to the Obama team the Trump team was a little bit surprised at at how deeply ingrained these communist revolutionary Che Guevara types were ingrained within all departments of government. And so they're fighting these fascists, these Bill Ayers, these Carl Dix type people within the government. And you'll notice that many of the slots haven't been filled yet. That's intentional. They're going to leave some slots filled. But getting back to when you pull back a little bit and take a look at this from a larger scale, it's my belief, based on my sources, my information, my analysis, my investigation, that what we're looking at here is, as I open with, is a multifaceted war. There's a huge war chest, George Soros war chest of money, some Clinton Foundation money.
They doubled the funding when they lost November 8th.
Exactly, and of course
which means we thought we had a war before. It's on.
It's hot, and you have been a victim of this, as we have, and many others have. Against this war against the so-called alt-right or the real media, and this is
the war against loyal patriots.
That's right, and perhaps this is the biggest threat to them right now. Although we have in the corner there looming large is the threat of prosecution, criminal prosecution, the exposure or the fear of exposure is much greater, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks with the social networking.
Sure, and I get it. I mean, I get that if Trump attacks him, it looks like he's a bully, but they're criminals, and they're trying to overthrow. And like I said, Obama is organizing. What do you make of Holder saying he is coming? He's getting ready to roll. Trump will fall. I mean, you're the former attorney general saying Trump's going to fall when you've been involved in all this criminal crap. I mean, that's an arrogant person, man. I mean, I'm telling you, Trump's not somebody to mess with. Neither am I. And I'm not shooting my mouth off. I'm sick of this, man.
And as are we. And I'll tell you something. One thing that I want to caution people is do not underestimate these people. These people being Holder, Jarrett, Obama. They may be.
Why would he say in the New York Times, Obama is coming?
Yeah, well, because obviously he's got the money, he's got the assets that have been ingrained within the structure of the government. You have, in rapid fashion, the United to Protect Democracy Group, $1.5 million war chest, 5 staffers. It's just made within 30 days. You've got Brock, of course, with the American Bridge. You've got Indivisible. That's an offshoot of the Obama for Action. Obama was planning this, and I think people need to know Obama was planning exactly this. Maybe not with precision with Trump, but exactly this takeover or this continuous of power since 2004. His speech in the Audacity of Hope speech in the Democratic National Convention. It was then when he organized the community groups. It was then that he began organizing all of the Che Guevara types around him. Election in 2008, he installed these people, had 8 years to perfect this community organizing on a federal level. And then, of course, people expect this to be untangled in 4 months. It's not, or 8 months or 8 days. It's not going to happen. But, and you're right, we're looking here. Everyone is looking. The guys on the street are looking for some sort of sign of life from those people who have the goods, who have the emails, who have the equipment.
Exactly, because
power.
Trump's delivering on policies and doing a great job and taking all these attacks. And I get he wants to stabilize the ship, get prosperity going, to win hearts and minds. He doesn't have time. They get that. They want to stop it. Let me show people the headlines. Daily Caller, confirmed. Obama administration sabotaged Trump's transition to the White House. They admit it, the whole plan. And in there, they took secret documents and gave them out and took them out of the White House so Trump wouldn't get them, so he could actually say what was in them. That's a felony right there. Okay. Here's another one. Obama handler Valerie Jarrett moves in with him into his new D.C. bunker so he can have all these sycophants still run around and plan all this. I mean, Obama's goal to oust Trump from his presidency via impeachment or resignation. Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com. Here's another one, Zero Hedge. This is in the New York Times, Politico. Holder foretells the return of Obama. He's coming, and he's ready to roll. The rules don't apply. We're bringing down Trump. I mean, this is like, they're like declaring war on a giant nationalist juggernaut rising worldwide. They've got an arrest warrant for Le Pen for criticizing Islam today. So she's in the lead. They just are going to arrest everybody. Even though they're not in power, they're going to try to arrest us. Don't they get at some point they take our kindness for weakness?
Well, and that's a great point. Yeah, don't mistake our silence for weakness. It's there's a strategy there. Now that only lasts so long, admittedly. However, again, what I've been hearing is just hold on, because there are a few very important leaks in actions coming here in the next 14 days. And it's contingent, too, I believe, from what I've been hearing.
Oh, he kept looking at him in the speech saying, just let me turn America back on. Get off the people's back. Come on, I'm good. Yep. He almost feels sorry for him before he drops the hammer. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. So we're seeing all of this this Cloward, Piven, Alinsky, all of these
classic dirty communist tactics.
Everything, right? And they've got a 7-step process that they are engaged in. Heck, Indivisible has the I think it's a 26-page report. It's right here. Or
yeah, that's the Soros group, How to Overthrow Trump.
Right, and so they're facing so much right now in terms of opposition. It's kind of like everyone's going to be putting these fires out. However, I do say that the Trump card, no pun intended here, the Trump card with respect to fighting this juggernaut against Donald Trump and his presidency. Is the emails, or are the emails. There's a hearing next week by Judicial Watch about an additional release of state secret emails on the Wiener computers. So there are things happening in the background. That
was my next question. You and others said that it was child porn. Then it came out in mainstream news that the police have that. They want to bring it out. Will there be charges? So what's the battle going on behind the scenes there?
They're working from the bottom up, and they are turning some people. Apparently, there are some people that are turning or willing to turn at this point. Some state's evidence or acting on behalf of the government.
So they've been rolling up the pedo tentacles everywhere to get people to blow the whistle on the higher ups.
Yeah, probably 7 of the 8 will say headlines you saw or people have seen with respect to the child pornography arrest have some relation to the larger Pettygate scandal or the DC-centric Pizzagate scandal.
Sure, but notice there are huge articles of hundreds of arrests, dozens of stories, but it only comes out once and then no more. There's a shutdown of this.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the old saying with the mainstream media is "we deceive, you believe," and that's what's taking place right now. And given the fact that over 60% of American adults get their news from social networking, it's a little bit rough, especially when they control the narrative or attempt to control the narrative on the social networking. So I said all of that to say this. That's why it's so important for people to tune into you and us and alternative.
In fact, we always just kind of add this as a proviso. It's first and center, and I should do it every start of the show. Buy the product, spread our links, support our sponsors. We're under total attack. We're not complaining. It's a war. You want people to fight. We're warriors of the info war. We're ready to take our licks, whatever they are. Just know, you're what powers us. So we have the force. Here's the analogy. We're 6 feet tall if you don't support us. We're 100 feet tall if you support us a little. We're 1,000 feet tall if you support us a lot. You commit, we're unlimited. It's all you. And when I say you're the info war, it's not so you have solidarity and I'm patting you on the head. You are the blood, the guts, the brains, the sinew, the fist. Got it? You're it. And I'm committed. I want to go in. I want to go in full throttle and defeat them. Okay? I'm totally committed, okay? Call whatever you want. Kamikaze, suicide mission, I don't care. Because I know how bad they are and I care about innocence. It's just a male warrior thing that I'm ready to go all out against them. But I'm telling you, I need the energy, the prayers, the will, the financial support, all of it, and we will not let you down, as Trump says. We will deliver. Look how far we've come, Doug, with your show, 20 times bigger than it was 10 years ago. Mine 20 times. I mean, it's exponential. That's why they're trying to have their big counteroffensive like the Battle of the Bulge, because we are kicking their scumbag parasite butts up and down the block.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, you've moved the ball down the field so far. And I think the level of fright, nervousness, and you can see it, you mentioned it earlier. These people, they're gutless cowards, they're spineless cowards, they're nervous. They believe that they can win on the numbers because they look at us, the conservatives, and especially...
It's a dying minority.
Right. And especially the conservative Christians, they look at us and they say, you guys aren't gonna even get off the couch. You might type an email or send a fax, but make a phone call at most. But you know what? We turn out in mass. We wear those funny pink hats. We dress up as, women's body parts. We carry the signs. We show up. You guys don't. And that's something I think we have.
Yeah, because we're too busy working.
There you go. However, at some point, we are going to have to answer those numbers with our numbers.
Exactly. We're telling Trump, take the gloves off. We got to take the gloves off. And I don't mean violently, but imagine what patriots of every race, color, and creed can do if you get aggressive in an info war. I was a 21-year-old guy 21 years ago, 22 years ago, that has done all this with your support. I'm nobody, man. There's people better than Doug and I and Trump waiting. You just haven't taken action. And yes, you're going to get attacked, but it's metaphysical. When you stand up for humanity from a pure heart, God opens doors. And I used to get upset when a door got closed and I got blocked. But then I realized I got mad last week and I realized as soon as that door slammed, all these new doors opened and it got even better. It's really metaphysical, Doug.
Yeah, and you've seen the evolution. It's a wonderful thing too. And we have to, I think, we take our marching orders from someone greater than any man.
The high command.
Exactly. So we have, we know how the story ends. If you're a Bible believing Christian, we know how the story ends.
No, that's it. We're getting direct. It's the spirit, man. We're getting orders. People ask, is this some government thing or how do you know all this? It's the high command. I know where we're going. I know we're going to win.
Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't mean that we occupy until he comes. Does not mean to sit around and play chess or whatever, or to play some board game. We have to put our hearts, minds, souls, and bodies into this, and we have to show up. We have to play our positions, and we have to become aggressive. Now, when I say that,
stay there. Let's talk about when we come back. Undoubtedly, an epic time to be alive. Stay with us. I'm Alex Jones. This is the Info War. Info Wars and what we've done with you, your prayers and support, is an example of how humans can build and create whatever they envision because we're made in the image of God. And now that we've built this technological system we have, if we are able to keep control of it and not give it to corrupt, psychopathic elites who believe we're obsolete now that we built this, what are you talking about? If we can realize that they have us in a trance watching football games and soap operas, and if we can dial out of that and see what Oprah Winfrey's really pushing and really talking about, world government, world extermination, then we'll beat them. But you just have to admit there's a real world and that you got sucked into a lie. I was the same way to a certain extent. I was kind of the opposite. I was just brought up around people that knew all of it, but I just thought everybody knew this stuff. And I just thought if we told people, people would do something about it. Well, that's kind of happened. Doug Hagmann, we got this segment in 5 more minutes, and then I know you got to go. We got great host coming in here, Anthony Cumia. But we should just have this debate now. How much will Trump put up with? Because, you know, I get his strategies, but he has a responsibility when they say they took illegal intelligence, illegally gathered, and then lied about it, and then leaked it, and they've committed crimes, and they're on the communist Chinese payroll and Russian payroll, and Trump isn't, and they're saying kill Trump, overthrow him, have Sessions resign, go after the Patriots, beat up Trump supporters. At a certain point, I get the whole Gandhi thing, but, you know, I'm not going to sit here while I get punched in the nose. That doesn't mean I'm going to do something, because I'm here causing the debate. But I get what you're saying with your law enforcement associates. We're seeing some movement, and it's good.
Well, they have the files. Okay, and that's one thing that I'm not sure people are clear on. I do know that at least, well, at a certain level within these within the task force, the files exist outside. It's my understanding now they exist outside of the evidence pool.
There was a belief in WikiLeaks if they released thousands of emails saying we'll have the children for your pleasure delivered to the hot tub and succulent hot dogs and, you know, all the rest of it, that something would be done. And there's even more worse stuff ready to come out if something isn't done.
Well, yes. And I think right. When you look at it the proper way, of course, the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine would prevent anything above board being done. But I do think, as I said earlier, that a lot of the smaller, lower level things that we've been seeing are a direct result, at least as periphery, from the intelligence gathered from the...
Sure. What happens if they try a hot coup or try to say they're going to indict Trump or impeach him? Does Trump just roll over to these criminals, then let them accuse him and march in there and put up with all their BS?
I don't think Trump is going to have to do that. I think there's enough people on his side that'll do that for him, in particular, very high-level law enforcement officers. At least that's my understanding.
Well, sure, he's our elected president. What's the former CIA director and the former president working against the country, running around announcing criminal sedition? I mean, how long is that allowed to go on?
Well, and you know what, Alex, that speaks to the lack of support, at least in my view, and from what I've heard, by people closest to Trump, including Reince Priebus and Paul Ryan and others.
So is that a mistake that he surrounded himself with scumbags?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's delivering and doing great things, but then has Priebus hopping around. Now, right. I get keep your enemies closer, but I just don't get it.
I think that they brought him, Priebus came on, but I think that there was a compromise. I think that's probably at this point reached its logical end, and I think Priebus might be, I don't know, but I've been hearing some rumblings about Priebus's future there.
Sure, no, I know Trump's been chewing him out, but I don't know. I don't know. Then he just says the media makes up all this stuff. They're not making it up. They're getting info and then twisting it. Back in 70 seconds, final comment from our guest, Doug Hagmann, of Hagmann and Hagmann Report, and then we'll hand the baton to Anthony Cumia. Stay with us. Nobody's going to buy that Sessions is a commie. So I agree, we're winning overall, but these rats are just so crazy, and so many of them are dumbed down and just in their own world that the criminal energy is what we're facing. Hagmann, in closing, what would you do if you were Trump? I mean, other tidbits we haven't gotten to.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would make sure that I was well insulated and certainly keep draining the swamp, but do it much faster, or at least as fast as I could, and certainly relegate Sessions to to file indictments. I would unseal Obama's records. That was the first act that he did when he went into office. Why not unseal them by way of executive order? Let the world know who Obama is.
That's a good idea. Unseal Obama's records.
Right.
Unseal the Benghazi record. Hillary saying the stand down. You know, they got that. Oh, man. Yeah, let's talk about Trump's arsenal. I mean, what he can do to these people outside of sending in, the special forces.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, who is Obama? Unseal those records. He's undoing his legacy. Of course, that's why Jared, Obama's brain, is living with him now, because Jared, of all people, does not want to see Obama's legacy be destroyed. And now, having said that, while we were talking, one of the people on the NYPD, FBI, JTTF, Sex Plus task force watching you said, March, and I'll quote here, he just sent me a message watching you. He said, tell Alex that March may come in like a lion and leave like a lamb in terms of weather, but in terms of politics and this issue, meaning the files, it'll go out like a lamb as well, or like a lion as well. So they're expecting something, according to my information, in real time here, that'll change the dynamics of our conversation in the next 28 days.
I mean, it couldn't be any clearer. The Democrats and the globalists are out to get everybody. They're scum. I mean, not standing up when he's talking about stop, exposing people that murder folks. I mean, they're just crazy.
Right. Right. And the other thing, too, I think we have to keep pushing to make our voices heard within the inner circle. I mean, you've got great contacts. We've got contacts. We've got to make our voices heard.
We've all got to be vocal. Don't just count on Trump. The people are the power.
Exactly. And change will come from above. What Organizing for Action, United to Protect Democracy, what they've done, they've realized that change comes from the bottom up. We have to realize change comes from the bottom up as well, and enforce that and show up in the numbers like they've never seen before. All we need to do is show up, play our positions, and play it well.
Sure. In closing, they've put an arrest warrant out for Le Pen for tweeting 5 images of ISIS recruiters saying kill Frenchmen and stuff. I mean, how traitorous is that? She's the presidential leading candidate. There's no free speech in France. And then the EU wants her indicted as well. They're going to try to indict her because she's a nationalist. I mean, these people are crazy.
We could be in that very same position had the election turned out differently. And
Hillary said that.
Yeah. And if we do nothing different, if we sit on our duffs and do nothing different, that could be us in a number of years, despite the efforts of President Donald Trump, because change cannot be enacted at that level all of the time, all of the time. So we have to do things as well. Yeah, it's a sin as far as I'm concerned, and it's a damn shame that that's taking place over in Europe. But take a look at Europe, and folks, I'm going to tell you, look at Europe and look at our future if we don't change what's going on.
If you want to know how screwed up socialists in the Green Party and they are in Europe, I mean, they're like saying it's good to rape women, Islam needs to take over, when it's the most anti-liberal religion ever. It's a truly sick group of people.
Yeah, indeed. And the worst thing about this as well, and I know we're short on time, is the fact that you've got the Muslims, the Muslims joining with the feminists, joining with the communist, fascist, whatever, in these marches. This is insane. These people are insane.
They are insane. They're just the scum of the earth. It's true. Thank you so much.